Coming up on BCN today, Lethbridge College receives national recognition. Plus, a van drives through a busy store, injuring several shoppers. And storms and twisters batter the southern states.
Your Canada. Your southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. Lethbridge police have charged a 41-year-old man in connection with an assault over the weekend. They were called to an apartment on Sylvan Road South early Saturday morning on a report of blood found outside and inside of the building. A 51-year-old man was later located inside one of the units suffering from head injuries that were bleeding profusely. He was transported to hospital and treated for multiple facial fractures. An investigation determined that earlier in the evening, the victim had been involved in a verbal dispute with an acquaintance that escalated to a physical altercation. Mitchell Jedediah Chambers, 41, is charged with one count of assault causing bodily harm. Chambers was released from custody and is scheduled to appear in court January 30th. Lethbridge College has received national recognition for its promotion of physical and mental health. Excellence Canada and Canada Life named the college one of the 2019 Canada's Healthy Workplace Month Great Employers. The award recognizes the college's efforts to foster a physically and psychologically safe and healthy workplace through healthy lifestyles, mental health and workplace culture, physical environment, and corporate responsibility. Students at Lethbridge College only have a couple of days left to take advantage of the Food for Fines campaign if they have overdue Buchanan library materials. By donating a non-perishable food item at the library, students can have outstanding overdue fines forgiven and help the Lethbridge College Students Association Food Bank to meet the needs of students now and into the new year. This year's Food for Fines theme is SOS, support our students, stock our shelves. Even if you don't have an overdue material, you may pop by with a donation and your gift will be going directly to students in need. Lawyers representing the provincial government are challenging the federal carbon tax in an Alberta Court of Appeal hearing that began Monday in Edmonton. Alberta's highest court has been told that allowing Ottawa's carbon tax law to stand would give the federal government a tool it could use to repeatedly chip away at provincial powers. Attorney Peter Gull says the federal government is justifying the law under a section of the Constitution that allows it to step in over issues of national concern. But he argues greenhouse gases don't meet the test and that letting the law stand would open the door to allowing Parliament to calling anything a national concern whenever it wanted. Alberta's government says the province's post-secondary institutions have taken steps to further entrench the right to exercise free speech on their campuses. The United Conservatives asked colleges and universities to develop policies that align with the principles of the University of Chicago's Statement on Free Expression and make them available publicly by December 15th. The University of Alberta and the University of Calgary both posted free speech statements on their websites in the last few days. Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau opened the door Monday to changing the way the federal government decides how much financial help it gives cash-strapped provinces ahead of talks among the country's finance ministers.
I did have the opportunity to speak with the Alberta Finance Minister last week. We had a good discussion. I'm looking forward to hearing from the other ministers from across the country. Obviously, this program hasn't been changed since 1995, so we are open-minded with respect to how it works or the changes that people might propose. And once we have those, we'll take that into consideration and do some analysis of our own. But I sense that when there's a program that provides money from the federal government to the provinces, that there tends to be some sense of unanimity that having more money is better than having less.
Provinces hit hard by low oil prices are pushing for changes that could cost the federal government billions of dollars. On their way into the meeting this morning, the ministers from PEI and Manitoba told reporters they would be looking for more money for health care. Federal government lawyers are expected to lay out their case in the Federal Court of Appeal today about the approval of the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion project. 4 BC Indigenous groups are challenging the second approval of the project on the grounds they were not adequately consulted. Yesterday, one of them claimed Ottawa withheld key information about oil spills until after its consultation on the project was over. Leaders from the First Nations held a press conference in Vancouver before the court hearings got underway.
Our experts' findings include that there is insufficient information on the behavior of diluted bitumen to adequately address the risk of oil spill and cleanup. TWN persistently asked Canada throughout consultation to provide us with any peer reviews of our findings or any new scientific studies in relation to the project. The federal government initially denied the existence of its own peer review documents of Tsleil-Waututh and Squamish expert reports, which we found out later their experts largely agreed with our conclusions. Canada came to the consultation table with predetermined accommodation measures before we had the chance to set out our concerns.
A van apparently being used as a getaway vehicle crashed into a crowded store outside of Seattle, injuring 11 people, including a 2-year-old child.
What we know as of now is there is a white van. It's now inside the store. It started out in the parking lot. There was a female that was inside the store shoplifting. She ran out and got into the passenger seat of the white van. There was a driver, a male, approximately 39, 40 years of age. Once the female got into the car, he took off. Unknown exactly why at this time. It appears from the damage he took off at a pretty high rate of speed. He struck a vehicle directly in front of the Ross that was unoccupied and then went straight through the window and into the store, passing the registers and ending up near the clothes aisle area. Inside, he struck a stroller that had a 2-year-old child inside, as well as several other people. The driver of the van is under arrest. Suspicion is under the influence of drugs. So we have a drug recognition expert responding, and they will do a search warrant for blood. And the female who was shoplifting is also under arrest. She had an unrelated warrant for her arrest.
At least 3 people are confirmed dead and a dozen more injured as powerful storms packing suspected tornadoes smashed into buildings, downed trees, and left a trail of destruction around the Deep South on Monday.
Devastation. It's bad. There's animals out, houses tore down.
There's houses
The barns are gone. You can't even find some of the properties. Houses that used to be here, you can't even find them anymore. Yes, the house is okay, thank God. But every other house around it is not.
Every other house around it is gone.
Yeah.
Me and her are standing by a closet, and everything's flying around us. Everything's caving in. Trees are coming through. The cat flew. It picked the cat up, and the cat flew, my cat. It flew across the yard. And I knew right there, I said, oh God, we're not gonna make it. There's no way we're not gonna make it out of here. Trying to hang on.
And then
And thank God we didn't stay in my room, because if we would have, it blew all the glass. We would have had glass. We probably wouldn't be here to talk about this.
Now for some news on the lighter side. International elite male cyclists found themselves cycling against a dog that took off from its owner at the end of the first lap of a race in Belgium on Sunday, and apparently he caused a lot of chaos. Check this out.
Have a new cross star here. Oh, he's got a leash on, but he lost his owner. Going for it right now in third place. Herman's through. Ellie Iserbit, he wants a piece of that. He wants a piece of the champ. He wants a piece of the champ. He's not going to get it. Does not want to let Ertz around. Actually wants a piece of Michael Van Tornhout. Stops him right in his tracks. It is absolute chaos. Looks like a shepherd mix of some sort.
Coaldale and Tabor RCMP are requesting motorists on Highway 3 in the Barnwell area to slow down due to black ice and numerous collisions in the area. We'll talk about the weather and what's ahead for us. A complete look at the forecast is coming up after the break. Stay with us. And ho, 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 here's your weather forecast. It is ugly sweater day at BCN here, so that's why I'm dressed like this. Today and tomorrow, we're gonna be seeing some beautiful weather, 5-degree highs for today and also tomorrow. We got some scattered clouds and mix of sunshine, a low of only 1 degree overnight, not too bad. And look what's coming ahead for us, all these double-digit plus temperatures. High of 4 degrees on Thursday. Look at that, 12-degree high on Friday, lots of sunshine. Sunshine in the forecast as well for Saturday with a high of 10 degrees. 4 degrees is the high on Sunday, and 1 degree is the high on Monday with mix of scattered clouds there and a little bit of sunshine. Not too bad looking ahead to the 5 days. The highs and lows for this time of year, keep in mind, the high should be around 0, so we're getting way above that right now. The low right around this time of year should be about -12. The high temperature on this day was 14 degrees. That was in 1980, and the low was a freezing -33 in 1983. I'm glad we're not there now. The sun rose this morning at 8:23 a.m. We'll be setting this afternoon at 4:32 p.m., giving us just barely over 8 hours of daylight these days. Looking to the west coast, we're going to be seeing some rain in Vancouver with a high of 8 degrees. Chance of rain in Victoria. They do have a mix of sun and cloud there. A 9-degree high. High of 3 degrees is expected in Edmonton, and a high of 6 is expected in Calgary with a mix of sun and cloud. Lots of snow though throughout Saskatchewan and Manitoba today. High of -8 in Saskatoon, which is much better than the high of -20 yesterday. High of -10 in Regina, same thing for Winnipeg. We're going to be seeing some flurries in those areas. Looking over to our friends in Toronto, they're going to be seeing some flurries as well with a high of 1 degree. Snow is expected for both Ottawa and Montreal as well today with a high of -4 in both of those cities. Now looking over to Atlantic Canada, we're going to be seeing a high of -2 in Fredericton with a mix of sun and cloud. Lots of sunshine expected today in Halifax with a high of 0 degrees. -1 is expected in Charlottetown and -1 also in St. John's, Newfoundland. And they're going to be expecting a lot of wind. A wind warning in that area is expected for today. That's your forecast. Here's what's happening in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. Come for an amazing cultural experience. The Lethbridge Symphony Orchestra is presenting the famous oratorio, The Messiah, on Monday, December 16th at 7:30 p.m. at Southminster United Church, in celebration of the Christmas season. Tickets for Symphony Series 3 can be purchased online by visiting lethbridgesymphony.org. Come to the Shakespeare Meets Dickens Christmas celebration with a Tudor Victorian flair. This event is taking place on Friday, December 20th at 7 p.m. in the ATB Community Room at Casa. Enjoy a performance of Dickens' A Christmas Carol, followed by scenes and songs from Shakespeare. Plus, join in the merriment and sing along to your favorite Christmas carols. Traditional treats including mince pies, gingerbread, eggnog, and mulled wine will be served. Tickets are $20 and can be purchased at Casa. For more information, call Kate at 403-329-4568. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Want to bring some Christmas into your daily meals? I know I do. Well, Christmas is just around the corner, so today's daily life hack will show you how to make a breakfast Christmas style. To make a fun and festive breakfast, start putting pancake mix into cleaned out condiment bottles. Next, dip some large cookie cutters into a dish of cooking oil and set them onto a pre-greased and preheated cooking pan. Now just pour in some pancake batter and give it a minute to cook. When the batter is firm, go ahead and remove the cookie cutter with a clean pair of pliers and your pancake will hold its shape. Voila, just like that. Now just finish them up the usual way, then make a whole bunch more. It looks both delicious and festive. And that's been your daily life hack. I'm going to try that. Now for some news in the world of entertainment. Cheers erupted while fans greeted The Rise of Skywalker's cast and crew at the world premiere in Los Angeles last night. Also, Taylor Swift and Idris Elba attended the Cats New York premiere. And 25 years after the fact, Mariah Carey's Christmas original is still #1 on the charts. Here's the Associated Press Showbiz Minute.
AP Showbiz Minute. Audiences have given the latest Star Wars film a standing ovation, and cheers erupted throughout The Rise of Skywalker at the world premiere in Los Angeles Monday night. The film receives a slew of positive reviews after director J.J. Abrams said he was mostly terrified to show the movie. Guests included Harrison Ford, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac and Kelly Marie Tran. It was a special night for Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber as he walked the arrivals line for the world premiere of the film adaptation of his stage musical Cats Monday in New York. The 71-year-old composer called the movie star Taylor Swift absolutely fantastic. Swift's co-stars Idris Elba, Rebel Wilson and Jason Derulo walked the red carpet. Christmas has come early from Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas Is You has reached the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 chart 25 years after its release. It's Carey's 19th #1. She's only behind the Beatles, who've had 20 songs top the Hot 100 chart. This is Lizzie Knight with AP Showbiz Minute.
And at the world premiere of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, actors from the original trilogy, Billy D. Williams and Ian McDiarmid, talked about the roles being a part of their legacy.
Lando's never left me. Lando has always been it's part of my legacy. It's always been a part of my life, for years. I mean, people, for the most part, I've done a lot of roles in my life. But people certainly see me as Lando Calrissian. So, and I think I created an interesting, heroic figure.
Long have I waited, and now you're coming together. Is your undoing.
I was astonished to get the call. But my whole relationship with Star Wars has been a series of astonishments. First of all, when George asked me to be in it one lunchtime, Return of the Jedi, all those years ago. And then a few years later, when he said, we're going back in time, and you're the right age to play this senator, who doesn't turn out too well. And then, of course, JJ called me 2 years ago and said, we're thinking of bringing the Emperor back. How do you feel about it? Well, I almost collapsed, which wouldn't have been good, but I didn't. And of course I said, but he's dead. And he said, well, yeah, you know. So we also had to be true to the fact that he was thrown down that shaft by Vader, and that was painful. So I think you'll see the pain.
Director J.J. Abrams says it's heartbreaking that Carrie Fisher is no longer with us. Writer Chris Terrio and film editor Marianne Brandon discuss incorporating old footage of Carrie Fisher into the newest Star Wars movie.
It's heartbreaking that she's not here tonight. Had she been in the movie, had she been with us still, of course, we would have done more with her than we did. But we had the opportunity to use footage and allow her to be part of this.
Confronting fear is the destiny.
We were so lucky and sort of blessed to have that footage of Carrie. And so our first, 2 or 3 months of the writing process were really just about how we keep Carrie and her heart and soul and brain and presence in the movie.
The last time I saw Carrie was in an ADR session at the end of episode 7 when we were in post. And we sat on a couch together and she said, I don't look good, do I? And I said, you're gorgeous. What are you talking about? She said, no. I said, Carrie, it is my job to make you look good. So you will, I will never use something of you that doesn't look good. And I feel like that is I feel like for some weird reason that was thrown back at me. Like somehow Carrie knew to say that to me or something so that I would go back and do that for her on this
film, which I, of course, did. And I mean, it was like magic.
Coming up in the second half of our show, BCN's Paul Arthur chats with an expert from the Fraser Institute about the state of health care in this country. That's coming up right after the break. Stay with us.